Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another fine episode of 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. That's right, it's me, it's Dave. I'm back and I'm alive. I'm alive and live right now. I haven't figured out when I'm going to start going live on the air with this. And part of the reason for that is the times change every day that I record. So that makes it more difficult for planning and everything else because of my wonderful schedule with this company that I work for that we've talked about once or twice. Anyway, my name's Dave, as you already know. I have gray hair. I have a gray beard. I have glasses that look just like the guys in the artwork. I have that green shirt. Mine has the logo on it. Anyways, how are you, folks? How are you? What is happening with you today? I am in a good mood. It's a gorgeous day. Right now, it's like 10 after 11 here in Central Florida on a Wednesday. It's already 78 degrees outside with just a little overcast, not a lot. Beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful day. And people are out mowing lawns, and well, not people, but companies are out mowing lawns. In fact, the guy's coming to mow ours today, which is why I wanted to get this out a little early because I think he's on his way. That could be noisy. So, what was happening in 1974 that I remember, and if you were around back then, if you were a boomer, there's a good chance you were around back then. If you weren't a boomer, this is history for you. History class with gray hair Dave. So, what's happening? A gallon of milk back in 1974, yeah, around this time was $1.57. I remember in our house, we never bought gallons of milk at a time. We always bought a half gallon because I don't think we went through that much milk. Uh, let's see what else was going on. Jimmy Fallon, for those of you who watch Jimmy Fallon, was born on September 19th of 74. Jennifer was one of the most popular babies' names for girls. In 1974, Skittles were released. The Rubik's Cube was invented. Do you believe that? The Rubik's Cube. Yeah, isn't that funny? The Rubik's Cube. I remember that. That was a pretty cool thing. I always had a tough time with it. Could never get it back. And then you'd see these other people going, "Yeah, that's easy, Dave. Geez, I don't know what your problem is with that." Well, I'm not as good as you were. uh, on the 29th of April, in a nationally televised speech, U.S. President Nixon announced that instead of releasing taped recordings requested by the House Judiciary Committee, a key conversation had instead arranged for some, but not all of them, to be transcribed by his staff. So if you don't remember the Watergate trials or all the investigation, it was all about the investigation of people breaking into the Watergate Tower and into I think it was a Democratic National Committee's offices and stealing documents to try so he could win again. Anyways, that's what that was all about. Uh, what else was happening on that day? Anyway, I mean, oh yeah, in 1974, what was it? Here we go. Infamously known as the super outbreak. Tornadoes lasted from April 3rd through April 4th, 1974. It was a record, more than 100 tornadoes in a 24-hour period. The result was a loss of over 335 lives and over 600 million in damages. That's probably in the billions in today's money. The weather was crazy, obviously, right there and then. That's pretty darned amazing. But anyways, back in '74, during the summer of '74, I don't know if you remember in your hometown or in your area, they had fairs or festivals or They had parades. They had something going on. It doesn't seem like every town had some kind of a festival or an occasion during the summertime to bring everybody downtown or into the area to promote things, to have fun. Um, so, in my hometown, ours was called the Blue Water Festival. One of the really, really cool things in our town was it was kind of split in two sides. Like we never really called it that, but there was a river called the Black River that went through the middle of town from I would it'd be from east to west or west to east. So you basically had the north side of town and the south side of town. And on that river, the river, the Black River emptied into the St. Clair River, which emptied into Lake Huron. Now, Port Huron was also the most northern bridge between the United States and Canada after Detroit. Detroit had the Ambassador Bridge. We had the Blue Water Bridge. And the next bridge between Michigan and Canada was the Mackinac. Well, the Mackinac Bridge didn't even go to Canada. It just went to the Upper Peninsula. So it was the last northern bridge to Canada on the Great Lakes, which was cool because realistically we could go spend time in Canada. But let's get back to the Blue Water Festival. During the Blue Water Festival, there was, of course, a carnival come to town. There was parades. Downtown, there was a sidewalk sale one day. There was all kinds of fun activities. And on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, there's what we call boat nights. Now, boat nights changed for me over the years. As I grew older, it was more fun because I could drink, or I had more friends who wanted to go to these things, or we had the ability to go to these things because we could drive. So, boat night basically is, for those of you who don't know what it is, which I don't blame you if you do not know, but you can look it up under the Blue Water Festival. And in fact, I'll put a link to it. There is a sailboat race from Port Huron, Michigan, to Mackinac Island, Michigan. It's a very famous race. It brings in hundreds of sailboats, and it is a up and down the Black River. It is three, four, sometimes five boats wide up and down the river, and people are walking up and down the river sidewalks, walking, looking at, and talking with, and having a good time all around the boats. The bars are going absolutely bonkers with people. It was a spectacle to see. I remember a time when Good Morning America came and broadcast from there. I don't remember what year it was, but I will look it up so that we can talk about it again. But the Blue Water Festival was something I took, you know, my first serious girlfriend to. We had fun there. I mean, we went to the carnival. We went to boat night. I had a friend who had his parents had a boat. We spent time on that. It was a wonderful time to be a kid because there were bad things happening, but it wasn't as bad as it is today. You know, you didn't have as many shootings as you do today. You didn't have the deaths you do of young people like we're getting today. And that's a commentary I don't want to get into today. But it was an enjoyable time. I remember to this day the look on her face when I first met her. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful girl. I screwed that one up, folks. A couple of times we broke up once or twice and got back together once or twice. And anyways, folks, I was an idiot. It doesn't really matter anymore. She's happy and I'm happy. But those are the fun times during high school in 74 we had. And it was just some of the small things that you do in a smaller town. Yeah, the biggest town near us was Detroit. So Detroit had over 1 million people in it. I think at that point in time we were at 100,000 to 200,000, somewhere in that area. So, folks, with that being said, it was a great, great, great time for me. And my friends, we had a good time. And if you were around, I hope you did too. If you weren't around yet and you weren't born yet, look some of these things up. Seriously, they were fun times to be around. And I'm not saying it's not a great time to be alive now as a kid, but I really, really, in my heart, believe baby boomers, we had it pretty lucky. We had it pretty good. It was a great time to be alive and a great time to be a teen in the early 70s, late 60s. And I think most of you will agree with me. If you do agree with me, or if you don't, leave me a message on my website, 5minuteswithgrayhairdave.com. That's the number 5minuteswithgrayhairdave.com. You didn't think I'd get away without plugging that now, do you? So leave me a message. Go to the website, please. Leave me a message. If you're in another country, leave me a message. I'd love to hear from you. If you know people who don't know what a podcast is, again, folks, please do us all a favor. As podcasters, we need more listeners. Show them how to do it. So for Gray Hair Dave here in Central Florida, where it's now 80 degrees, gone up 2 degrees just in this little while we've been talking. Have a great day. Say hi to somebody. Smile at somebody. It'll make their day. So y'all have a good one. This is me smiling at you. Bye-bye.